Usually, when do you start raising mullet and when do you catch them?
We start raising the mullet fry around the winter solstice every year. Then 3 years later, again around the winter solstice, we can begin to harvest them.
In other words, you raise and catch around the winter solstice.
Yes, and every batch has to be at least 3 years old.
Having gathered the fish together, I saw him pouring in some sort of liquid. What was that? Was it meant to numb the fish for the time being?
Yes, it's an anesthetic to numb them temporarily. Mullet are very delicate fish, so we have to first numb them with anesthetics to prevent them from hurting themselves.
Is there any technique in removing the roe?
To avoid tearing the roe sac, they cut off a piece of flesh from the navel of the fish, so it's a special knife they use.
Are these people who help gutting the fish in the same team? So once their work is done at this farm, they'll move on to the next?
Yes, they are specialists in helping fish farmers remove the mullet roe. Mullet gizzards.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's the mullet stomach.
Yes, that's exactly what they are.
You can only get them this fresh when mullet are at peak season.
Yes, they've been removed soon after getting, so are most fresh.
So usually after removing the roe, you'll extract the gizzard as well.
Yes, we'll remove the gizzard right after. These are part of the so-called 3 treasures of mullet.
Which 3 are they?
They are the roe, gizzard, and milt of the mullet.
When the northeast seasonal winds began to pick up, Hoklo people in Fujian province of China would set sail for Taiwan. They came for the mullet. Having caught the mullet, they would have the mullet roe made in Taiwan while waiting for the wind to turn to a southwest direction. They then took the mullet roe and dried fish back with them to the mainland. So the earliest production of mullet roe recorded in the comprehensive history of Taiwan is about 400 years ago.
This is milt from the male mullet. It's the sperm sac.
I guess this mullet milt is also only available when mullet are in season.
Yes.
Then you add garlic sprouts, right?
Yes, we add garlic sprouts to braise the mullet milt.
What do you find to be the hardest part of processing mullet roe?
The hardest part? It's the fact that there are no techniques you can learn from. You have to figure things out by yourself. Also, changes in the weather. It can be different each year. Fish farming is about being in a state of readiness at every available hour every day. You can't have a proper rest.
What's that being used? Is it sea salt?
Yes, I use imported salt to preserve the roe.
Is salt crucial to the final outcome?
Quality of salt and degree of freshness ultimately determine the texture of mullet roe.
I saw your husband working with no gloves on, but you are wearing them.
Because I'm more...
If you don't wear gloves, your hands will be rough.
Exactly.
In the middle of this dish is mullet rice vermicelli. Next to the vermicelli is mullet that have been deep fried. Mullet rice vermicelli, as people know, is made with the mullet with the roe removed. After the roe is extracted, the remaining fish is deep fried. There you have it.